You believe in loyalty and fairness, but they chain you to mediocrity, making you vulnerable to those who wield true power. These cold laws will shatter your illusions, rendering you untouchable or expose you as forever weak. You have been taught to believe in equality, that every man deserves respect, that fairness governs outcomes, that power is distributed rather than seized. This is the comforting lie fed to the masses, designed to keep you compliant, predictable, and ultimately expendable. In reality, human interaction is a silent war, where respect is extracted, not granted, and fairness is a weapon used only by those too weak to impose their will. Machiavelli saw through this illusion centuries ago. He understood that the world is not a marketplace of equal exchange, but a battlefield of asymmetric force. Those who cling to notions of justice and mutual regard are systematically culled, politely overlooked, quietly undermined, and eventually erased from positions of influence. You are not judged by your intentions or your moral purity. You are measured solely by the power you command and the fear or admiration you inspire. The egalitarian frame you carry is not noble. It is suicidal. It blinds you to the constant calculations occurring around you. While you extend trust as a default, others extend it only as a tactic. While you seek win-win arrangements, predators seek total dominance disguised as cooperation. Your belief in inherent human goodness does not elevate you. It marks you as prey. Strip away the modern veneer of democracy and rights, and you return to the raw substrate of history. Hierarchies forged by cunning, strength, and unrelenting self-interest. Princes did not rise by being virtuous in the common sense. They rose by understanding that virtue is performative, a mask worn to pacify the herd, while the blade is positioned. The same mechanics operate today, hidden beneath polite corporate language and social etiquette. To become untouchable, you must first burn the egalitarian lens entirely. Replace it with a colder, clearer instrument, one that sees every interaction as a transfer of power, every relationship as a potential threat or asset, every act of kindness as either genuine weakness or calculated deception. This shift is not optional. It is the prerequisite for survival among those who already operate without illusion. Most men never make this transition. They remain trapped in the comfortable mythology of fairness, quietly resenting their stagnation while attributing it to bad luck or systemic bias. They die irrelevant, convinced of their own righteousness. The few who discard the myth early ascend rapidly, moving through the world with the calm precision of a surgeon rather than the hesitant hope of a supplicant. You stand at the threshold. Clinging to equality keeps you safe only in the herd, and the herd is always led to slaughter. Embracing the reality of power asymmetry isolates you momentarily, but it grants sovereignty. The choice defines whether you remain controllable or become uncontrollable. This frame shift is irreversible. Once seen, the illusion cannot be unseen. The laws that follow will only take root in a mind already stripped of naive constraints. If remnants of moral equality linger, they will sabotage your adaptation, leaving you half-transformed and doubly vulnerable. Accept the battlefield. Discard the fantasy of fairness. Only then can the cold laws begin their work. Power does not announce itself. It operates through invisible gears that most men never detect, until they are already crushed beneath them. Beneath every smile, every favor, every apparent alliance lies a calculated transfer of influence. One party rising, the other diminishing, conducted with surgical silence. Machiavelli stripped human interaction to its machinery, fear and love as twin levers, reputation as the fulcrum, perception as the blade. Men believe they act from reason or morality, but they are driven by deeper currents: status anxiety, the dread of exclusion, the craving for elevation. Those who master these currents do not persuade. They redirect existing forces to serve their ends. The core mechanism is simple in its cruelty. People obey whoever they believe holds the capacity to harm or elevate them. Love is fragile and revocable. Fear is durable because it roots in self-preservation. Yet pure fear invites rebellion. The masterful operator blends both, offering just enough admiration to bind loyalty while maintaining the constant, understated threat of withdrawal or retribution. You have experienced this without naming it. The colleague who flatters you while quietly positioning himself for your role. The friend who borrows your credibility and never returns it. The woman who withdraws affection the moment your utility wanes. These are not anomalies. They are the standard operation of influence machinery in motion. Most men remain oblivious because they project their own hesitant goodwill onto others. They assume reciprocity is natural, that gratitude endures, that exposure of intent equals dishonor. This is the fatal error. The machinery rewards those who conceal intent while reading others mercilessly. Influence is not earned through merit displayed openly. It is accumulated through perception managed ruthlessly. Your accomplishments mean nothing if they can be ignored or redefined. Your weaknesses mean everything if they can be exploited without your awareness. The operator ensures his strengths are felt rather than stated, his threats implied rather than voiced. Detach now from the illusion that transparency builds trust. Transparency disarms you while arming others with knowledge of your limits. The powerful reveal only what serves the narrative they impose. They speak in outcomes, not intentions. They allow others to fill silence with their own fears and hopes, then harvest the results. Empathy is the lubricant that keeps this machinery turning against you. When you feel another's pain, you hesitate. When you project your values onto them, you miscalculate. The moment you prioritize being understood over being obeyed, you have already surrendered positional advantage. To become untouchable is to reverse the flow. You must become the one who triggers the anxiety, who controls the narrative frame, who decides which emotions are activated and when. This requires excising the habitual need to be liked in favor of the disciplined capacity to be feared when necessary and admired when useful. The laws you will receive are not moral advice. They are engineering specifications for this machinery. Applied without sentiment, they reconfigure your position from reactive component to controlling operator. Fail to internalize the mechanism, and the laws remain inert words. Master it, and every interaction becomes a controlled extraction of power. Most will reject this dissection as cynical. That rejection is the final safeguard keeping them subordinate. Accept the machinery as it is, cold, relentless, indifferent, and you begin the ascent from operated to operator. You believe yourself exempt from history's butcher block. You think the world has softened, that men today are civilized. Wrong. The same blades that carved empires still gleam beneath the veneer. Only the hands holding them wear suits now. Machiavelli did not invent human nature, he dissected it. He watched Cesare Borgia rise from exile to conquer Romagna in months, not through honor, but through calculated cruelty. Borgia appointed Ramiro d'Orco as his enforcer, let him crush resistance with iron severity, then publicly executed Ramiro to harvest the people's gratitude. One sacrifice, two gains. Order restored, hatred redirected. The lesson is surgical. Cruelty used well and once is mercy compared to the slow bleed of weakness. Look further back. Agathocles of Syracuse, a potter's son, slaughtered the entire Senate in one morning assembly. No gradual purge, no appeals to justice, just decisive elimination. He ruled securely for decades. The naive call it evil, the sovereign call it efficiency. History repeats because frailty is eternal. The moment a ruler shows hesitation, the wolves circle. Louis XVI of France tried to be the good king, listened to petitions, sought consensus. His reward, the guillotine. Compare him to Stalin, who trusted no one, purged relentlessly, and died old in his bed, while his enemies vanished into snow. Even alliances are traps for the trusting. Frederick the Great wrote that treaties are observed only as long as they align with interest. Napoleon trusted Alexander of Russia after Tilsit. Within 5 years, Russian armies burned Moscow rather than submit. The law is immutable. Men obey fear longer than love. Your own era hides the same mechanisms behind polite masks. Corporations fire thousands without warning after years of family rhetoric. Politicians embrace you on camera, then sell your future for votes. Friends borrow your loyalty and spend it on their convenience. These are not anomalies. They are the default operating system of power. Human nature has not evolved. The amygdala still floods at threats. The prefrontal cortex still rationalizes betrayal when profit appears. Generosity is mistaken for weakness within hours. Mercy is cataloged as opportunity. Every empire that fell did so because its guardian grew sentimental, believed in gratitude, or assumed others shared his code. You are surrounded by the same species that crucified prophets, poisoned philosophers, and cheered as arenas ran red. They smile at you now, shake your hand like your posts. They are measuring your throat. The 9 laws you are about to internalize are not innovations. They are antibodies against this permanent condition. Ignore them and you join the anonymous pile of the devoured. Apply them and you become the blade, not the flesh. History does not negotiate, it selects. You now understand the blade is always raised. The question is no longer whether you will be cut, but whether you will wield it. These 9 laws are not philosophy, they are weapons. Internalize them, deploy them, or remain mute. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Even if you are superior, display it only when it serves your ascent. Superiors fear displacement more than incompetence. Let them bask in reflected light until the moment you eclipse them irrevocably. Premature brilliance invites preemptive strikes. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends expect reciprocity and grow resentful when denied. Enemies expect nothing and are grateful for calculated favor. Convert a rival into a dependent ally. He will serve harder to prove his new loyalty. Caesar pardoned enemies and placed them in high command. They became his fiercest defenders. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Speak in ambiguities, plant false trails. Let others project their fears onto your silence. When your true move arrives, it strikes from darkness. Borgia negotiated peace while preparing annihilation. His victims died negotiating. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Words are ammunition. Waste them and you disarm yourself. Silence breeds uncertainty in others, forcing them to reveal while you observe. A single calculated sentence outweighs paragraphs of justification. Power speaks softly, weakness explains. Law 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is your outer fortress. Cultivate one of ruthless capability. One act of decisive cruelty, properly staged, deters 1,000 challenges. Allow no slander to stand unanswered. Respond disproportionately once to teach eternal caution. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Obscurity is death. Be seen, be discussed, be feared or admired, never ignored. Spectacle draws allies and paralyzes rivals. Enter rooms like a force, not a guest. Control the narrative or become its footnote. Law 7. Get others to do the work, but always take the credit. Leverage is multiplied effort. Delegate execution. Reserve ownership. Men tolerate exploitation if rewarded with proximity to power. Let them build your monuments. History records the name on the plaque. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. The aggressor expends energy and exposes position. Force others to cross the field toward you. Offer what they crave, validation, profit, status, and dictate terms on your ground. The supplicant is already half conquered. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Argument concedes equality and invites rebuttal. Demonstration ends debate. Act decisively. Results silence opposition where words provoke it. Crush resistance once, publicly, and future dissent evaporates unspoken. These laws are not sequential. They interlock. Conceal intentions while courting attention. Use enemies while guarding reputation. Deploy them in combination and you become a moving fortress. Visible enough to deter, opaque enough to strike unseen. Begin immediately. Identify one relationship where you have been reactive. Reverse it this week using Law 8. Withhold information in your next negotiation. Apply Law 4. Each application sharpens the blade. Hesitation is the only sin here. The world does not wait for your moral reconciliation. It selects those who act while others deliberate. Your arsenal is now loaded. The next move defines whether you remain prey or become the hunter. The arsenal is forged. The threats are mapped. Now comes the kill. Your old identity must die. Not gradually, not with nostalgia. It must be executed in a single decisive stroke. Anything less invites resurrection, and with it, vulnerability. You have been a construct of illusions. Raised on fables of fairness, you internalized loyalty as virtue, hesitation as wisdom, mercy as strength. These are chains forged by the weak to bind the capable. They made you predictable, exploitable, a willing node in someone else's network of control. Begin the execution with inventory. Catalog your weaknesses, the relationships you cling to out of sentiment, the habits born of comfort, the beliefs that whisper, but what if they mean well? Each is a fracture point where blades can enter. Write them down, not to reflect, but to target. Burn the bridges first. Sever ties that demand emotional tribute without reciprocal power. The friend who borrows your time but offers no leverage, excise him. Inform him coldly, our association no longer serves. No explanation, no debate, actions, not arguments. Watch as he scrambles. His reaction reveals if he was ally or parasite. Next, dismantle your moral scaffolding. Invert it surgically. Loyalty is not a bond. It's a weapon to be wielded or withheld. Goodness is camouflage for predators, not a goal. Test this. In your next interaction, withhold aid where once you would have given freely. Observe the fallout, not with guilt, but with detachment. Did the world end? No. It adjusted to your new gravity. Replace the void with Machiavellian steel. Adopt the predator's gaze. Scan every encounter for leverage, not connection. Practice concealment daily. Reveal 20% less than instinct demands. Guard reputation like a fortress. Counter slights immediately. Amplify your victory subtly. Identity death requires rituals of reinforcement. Mirror the laws in micro-actions. Outshine no one today, but plan tomorrow's eclipse. Use an enemy. Identify a rival. Offer calculated bait. Draw them into dependence. Feel the shift. Power accrues not from effort, but from positioning. Human nature resists this rebirth. Your mind will rebel, conjure ghosts of who you were, crush them. Sentiment is the prey's final defense. Remember Borgia's enforcer, useful, then discarded. You are no different to yourself. Discard the obsolete. The new core emerges untouchable because it expects nothing but betrayal and prepares accordingly. Sovereign because it selects alliances on utility, not emotion. Powerful because it acts while others emote. This execution is permanent. Regression means death, not metaphorical, but the slow erosion of relevance. The world does not mourn the fallen, it forgets them. You are no longer the man who entered this script. That husk is gone. What remains is the blade incarnate. The execution is complete. The blade is in your hand, but power is not a trophy. It is a sentinel that demands eternal vigilance. Relax your grip and it turns on you. This is your ultimatum. Apply these laws without deviation or perish in irrelevance. The world does not offer second chances to the half-committed. You have seen the frailty, forged the arsenal, slain the old self. Regression now is treason against your sovereignty. Elite status is not granted, it is seized and defended. Join the ranks of the untouchable by acting today. Identify a single point of leverage in your life, a negotiation, a relationship, a decision, and deploy one law with precision. Report nothing. Results are your only metric. The masses will cling to their illusions. Betrayed and discarded, you will not. You are selected for survival because you chose the cold path over the comforting lie. One final warning: the fire that forged you can consume you if ignored. Hesitate and you become the chaff you once were. Advance and dominion is yours. This is not motivation, it is selection. The weak turn away now, the powerful proceed.